company which is on our radar right now is V-Mart Retail. Is it going to be a beneficiary of a rural pickup? Is rural demand picking up, especially now that we're entering into the election season? We're now joined by the management of the company, Mr. Lalit Agarwal, who's the chairman and MD. Lalit, morning, and thanks so much for joining in. Well, the performance so far has been a bit disappointing compared to your own expectations. So you had guided for a high single-digit kind of a same-store sales growth. Compared to that, so far you've achieved about 3.7%. What was the reason for that? And do you expect your same-store sales growth going ahead to hit that high single-digit mark as you had earlier anticipated?
Good morning, Rima. So, absolutely right. There is a softness in the market for the last 3 months, almost 17 weeks. So we have noticed that. So I think this time, as per Indian calendar, the auspicious festival is delayed this time by 20 days. So the festival is shifted, so as the sale shifted to the later part of March. And I think we have started getting the response from the last week, and then the response right now is very good, and we are getting the desired growth right now. But yes, the earlier days were soft, and the expectation that we had out of the wedding period and the winter period was not great and was not effective enough. So anyway, we have got another 17 days left here, so we'll try to catch up.
All right, you will try to catch up. You said Holi is doing fairly well. The first 9 months of the year, like Rima said, have done about 3.7% in same-store sales growth. But the last quarter itself was good, 11%. Do you think that momentum will sustain into the fourth quarter? And what can you guide for in terms of same-store sales growth for the next year, given its elections?
Yeah, so elections have been, very dicey for us. A certain period during the election periods, normally there are a lot of disturbances in small towns, and especially in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, where we operate largely. So there are a lot of rallies and a lot of activities, and some amount of social disturbance also happens, which disturbs the market. But overall, there is enough money in the market. The economy builds up, and then people have more money to spend. So post the election, normally we find good period coming in. So we should expect a good quarter one. Anyway, maybe the later part of the quarter one, but it should be a good quarter one. As far as the quarter four is concerned, we are not that bullish as quarter three, because quarter three, once again, there was a festival shift in the October month, which Diwali got shifted into October. So we got some response here. But otherwise, Q4 should be good, but shouldn't aim that kind of growth rate.
Mid-single digit kind of growth or high single digit kind of growth in Q4?
You're trying to take away everything. It all depends upon how the balance 18 days remaining will perform, because this holy period is important to us. So as of now, we don't have too much to say, but I think it should be somewhere around mid-single digit growth.
Right, mid-single-digit growth, that would mean 9 months, the whole year you would end at around 4.5%, at best 5% in terms of same-store sales growth. So what happens the next year then?
So next year, I think we are once again bullish, because this year, if we don't have too much of growth, we should have a good base to start from. So next year we should be bullish enough, and we see a lot of activities even from the government side is resulting into the economic upbringing of upcoming of the people in that area. So even a lot of work which has happened in the past 7-8 months, and also things which will come up in the coming days, should add a lot of economy upswing in the public consumption space. So we are expecting a high-digit single growth in the next year also. That's how we are planning our plans of our purchase.
You said that, the election season typically causes some amount of disruption as well as disturbance, which means April and May will be subdued for you and pickup will only happen, say, June and July?
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. It all depends upon the dates of election in that particular territory. So if the elections are in April, it may be disturbed for that month. If the elections are in May, it will be disturbed for a longer period of time. So it will remain that little disturbed in the first 2 months in certain parts of the territories of the country. But otherwise, the quarter looks good.
Okay. Any further provision required for your ILNFS exposure?
I'm not sure right now. It all depends upon the next 30 days, what comes up in the ILFS space. That's how the auditor will take its call.
Anything that you heard from them? How much is your unexposed holding in ILNFS right now? Or rather, unprovided for holding in ILNFS?
No, I think whatever investment we had, we only had provided for 25% of that investment. So we have 75% of the balance piece, which we don't think that it will be complete write-off.
So you will have to provide for all of that 75% as well?
I don't know. It all depends upon the status.
Okay. And what about your store addition? Considering last year growth has been a bit subdued, do you still think you will continue expanding by 25 to 30 stores annually as you have been doing, or do you think you'd like to step back a bit, wait for your same store sales growth to hit that high single digit 10% kind of a mark before embarking on expansion?
No, I think we parallelly want to expand into different markets, and we still feel there are a lot of geographies and a lot of towns where there is no retail and organized retail, where the consumer wants to shop from a good environment. So we continue our store opening plans. We have already opened up 37 stores in this particular fiscal year. We yet to announce some of the stores, but yes, we have opened 37, and we have plans to open more in the remaining 18 days also, and we will target more in the next year also.
What on competition, Lalit? A lot of the organized large players are looking at tier 2, tier 3 towns, which is your mainstay, while you're looking at tier 4. And V2 Retail recently got funded by PE, so they have some money in their pockets. They'll be going aggressive as well?
Yeah, so there are, competition is in full throttle, and they are working aggressively towards tier 2, tier 3 markets, right from the national chains to the regional chains. And players like V2, there are a couple of other players who have received some private equity funds, and the national players are also very, very bully on the tier 2, tier 3 story. So we are facing all kind of competition coming in, but I think there is a large market, because the market which we are catering to, still we are not even 5% of the market share that we are. So I think there is a huge opportunity for everyone to come and have party.
Thank you, Lalit, for joining in. And get into a break. As we do that, we'll leave you with some market opinion coming in from Arvind Sanger of Geosphere Capital on what he makes of the market ahead of the general elections, along with his top bets.
The Indian economic growth cycle is stronger than any political party from a long-term standpoint. But one of our hopes and expectations would be that if the current ruling party and in a coalition or on its own comes back, the government comes prepared with a stronger, clearer idea of what they want to do early after election. If you get a new coalition of a lot of different parties, we don't know how long it'll take them to formulate a cohesive strategy that can help propel some business confidence, some recovery in overall animal spirit, so to say, in the economy. And therefore, I think that would create, obviously, a headwind and an opportunity to buy at lower level. The NBFCs, which are oversold, we're going to be a little more selective there. But I think there too, you're seeing at least some signs. You had a Canadian pension fund invest in Edelweiss. So you're seeing some signs of some backstop being provided by global investors, which give comfort that some of the NBFCs are going to be able to ride out the short-term challenges that they are facing, that will continue to face, but it's not going to be, it's not going to be an accident for most of these NBFCs. They will come through this, even if they have to take some write-downs. I think we should have a more sustainable move, because the domestic story, also remember, between last October and now, you had the whole NBFC crisis. So again, we're assuming that the worst is behind us. And we have been looking at some of the, oversold high-quality names because, there were some large cap names that never really sold off much, which is where investors were hiding. But some of the other names that sold off a lot, is where some of the opportunities lie. And there are some high-quality mid-caps. You were talking about names like, Ashok Leyland, Mother Sunsumi. There are others of that category or of that caliber that we think there are opportunities in.